And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Up first here, we've got winter storm warning out for tonight through tomorrow night here for the Kobuk Valley, eastward there into Selawik, Norvik, and Kotzebue for 6 to 14 inches of snow falling for overnight tonight through tomorrow night until about 6 a.m. Wednesday. And then to the south here, winter storm warning also for heavy snow. Norton Sound, Seward Peninsula, the lower Yukon River Valley on out toward the Delta, looking for 6 to 10 inches of snow during that time frame. Again, tonight, 9 p.m. this evening, until 6 a.m. Wednesday morning. Otherwise, a wind advisory is out for Tuesday and Tuesday night here for the Alaska Range, or actually Tuesday night till about 6 a.m. Wednesday for gusts to 60 miles per hour. And looking at satellite imagery, got moisture or a system moving into Canada and some clouds following in across the southeast coast today, keeping it kind of damp and cloudy with areas of rain through here, and also some variable clouds here over southern Alaska with a few isolated snow showers or mixed precipitation with the main rain area back here to the west, with this system coming northward here. Putting that in motion again, you can see the moisture traveling from south to north once again. So rain across the Alaska Peninsula area up into Bristol Bay and Dillingham over to Togiak. And then where the winds turn northerly, the rain changes to snow. Cape Newenham, for example, also here for the Pribilof Islands, on down into the central Aleutians. Snow showers falling there into the Fox Islands as well. And some areas of snow here up in the interior areas. On the chart today, quite an area of snow falling today from Nenana up to Fairbanks over toward Eielson. Other areas not seeing as much, and drier down here over south central Alaska. Some areas of fog as well, some clearing, and just isolated rain or snow showers going on into the afternoon here. A little more extensive, but not too much. All this precipitation pretty light all the way down across the southeast coast with that weak trough. And this front up here has an area of snow with it. That's where the winter storm warning will be as this becomes heavier tonight. Again, looking for 6 to 14 inches of snow. Kobuk Valley out west toward Kotzebue, especially up toward the southern slopes of the Western Brooks Range area, and that heavy snow pattern extending down into the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta. And for tonight, it's pretty stationary there. High pressure here with the colder air, and then the milder air here linking up, feeding the moisture into that front. So expecting some pretty heavy snow along that boundary there. Lighter amounts up to the eastern Arctic coast. Mixed precipitation here along the southwest coast, and mostly rain for the Alaska Peninsula. As this front comes northward here, look for gale force winds and rain into Kodiak Island tonight as this low here actually pulls back to the west a little bit. And the winds and moisture will start to increase again along the southern Kenai Peninsula into southern Cook Inlet, western Prince William Sound. More of the same. High pressure, though, over the southeast coast. Just some isolated lingering showers that will end by tomorrow. Back here to the west, northerly winds still pretty gusty, up to 40-45 miles an hour across the eastern Aleutians with snow showers there, diminishing back up toward the Pribilof Islands. Next system out to the west, spreading wind and rain into the western Aleutians, and tomorrow that will weaken as it swings across Dadak and Atga with some rain there, and then another system right on its heels bringing more gale force winds into the far western Aleutians. This low tracking northward again into western Bristol Bay area, and that front here coming north of Kodiak Island. So winds diminish along with the rain amounts in the afternoon there for Kodiak, but winds on the increase here. Gale force winds for the North Gulf Coast, and mixed rain and snow, or just plain rain for the coastal areas, Prince William Sound down towards Seward, southern Cook Inlet, Kodiak rain, but this moisture not getting too far to the north here. Not much getting in the Copper River Basin at all. This area here right along the western Alaska Range looks like it'll be a dry day up in the eastern Tanana Valley area, or the Tanana Valley 40-mile country northward with the heavy snow along this frontal boundary here. gradually edging back to the west a little bit. And for the southeast coast, high pressure over western Canada there keeps it dry through the day, but this front will push in during the day Wednesday, actually late Tuesday night and Wednesday throughout the day, kind of slowing down as it does. A weak system developing near the Queen Charlotte Islands. So periods of rain and snow across the southeast coast, the North Gulf Coast. Could see some snow across south central Alaska, possibly into the Copper River Basin in areas there, but nothing too significant. Brooks or the Alaska Range into the eastern interior stays dry. This trough keeps some light snow going with some cold, chillier air coming into the southwest interior there, and also possibly into the Kuskokwim Valley, but nothing too heavy in the valley there. It'll be mostly west of the Kuskokwim Mountains or on down Sleep Mute onto the south. Look for some snow continuing there for the maybe the Koyukuk Valley back to the Kobuk Valley. Low pressure there over northern Seward Peninsula area with snow along the trough up along the western Arctic coastal areas. And out to the west, next low coming into the Bering Sea here with pretty good winds here out of the west. Gale force winds, especially in advance of the front there, pushing rain and wind from the eastern Aleutians into the western Alaska Peninsula, as well as the Pribilof Islands. And for the lows tonight, anywhere from 0 to 10 below here for the Arctic coast, western Seward Peninsula to St. Lawrence Island. By contrast, in the upper 30s here for the Alaska Peninsula and Bristol Bay area, mostly in the teens and 20s here in the central part of the state. Otherwise, 20s for south central Alaska, but still in the 30s down toward Homer and Kodiak. Teens for the Copper River Basin. And North Waytok might fall a little below 0 there. Upper 20s for the northern panhandle, otherwise in the lower to mid 30s. Highs for tomorrow, lower 40s there for Sitka down toward Klawock and Craig, Prince of Wales Island over toward Ketchikan, as well as Yakutat. Highs in the 30s, south central Alaska once again, but lower 40s. Homer down to Kodiak, lower 40s for King Salmon. Still pretty mild here in the southwest interior with the next system tracking northward once again, pulling more warmer air up. And highs in the 20s in the central interior, closer to 0 for the western Arctic coast. And the lows, again, 0 to 10 or 15 below for the North Slope and Arctic coast up there, and in the teens here in the central interior and south of the Alaska Range, upper 20s and 30s for south central Alaska, Kenai Peninsula, mid 30s Kodiak Island, 30s to lower 40s for the lows Wednesday morning for the southeast coast, with highs in the 40s there for the Panhandle and mid 20s for the Copper River Basin, otherwise mostly in the 20s here in the central interior areas, and right around 0 for the Arctic coast into the North Slope, otherwise mid 30s for the Pribilofs, lower 40s for Unalaska.